Welcome back to the Luxalgo live stream. My name is Jacob. I'm here with Mickey. Mickey, how you doing?
Hey, good morning.
How was your Halloween? Was it good?
Trick or treat.
Hopefully everybody had a good Halloween this week. And we are currently back with the massive pump we had after FOMC yesterday with the update that rates will not be changing anytime soon right now. So the Dow Jones is up 1% today with 362 points. S&P 500 up 60 points with 1.4%. And the NASDAQ up 1.3%, 173 points. So extremely bullish day as we jump into the news to see, those reports that came out yesterday. Obviously, pre-market, we had the ADP farm employment. It did miss, but that didn't really affect anything because we did have a FOMC coming out later. And also job openings ended up beating, as well as ISM prices for October ended up beating as well. Crude oil had, we had a little bit of a supply that was priced in, not much of a reaction off of that, and ended up actually selling off yesterday after this came out. As you can see, it's nearly even on the week. So going into FOMC, obviously you can see interest rates didn't change back, or still at 5.5%. So that's all right. If they don't change, that's fine. We're happy. We can see that the charts are reacting accordingly. So we'll see kind of how, we end up for the rest of the week. But hopefully you guys are, staying healthy out there and had a good Halloween. We had a good one here, but I don't know if you guys celebrate Halloween wherever you are. Hopefully everybody does, because it is a really fun holiday. It kind of kicks off the holiday season, I would say. But let's kind of jump in to the charts here and see what one of my favorite charts, and I'm going to pull it up in just a sec. Bear with me as I pull up something that was quite interesting to me. And yeah, so here we are. So looking at the weekly chart, we talked about this with the beginning of the week getting a potential bounce and possible bull run if, FOMC went well. This is a weekly chart. What's really cool to see is when, a Fibonacci plays out pretty well. So on the weekly, if we were to pull the recent swing point to that the recent low swing to the recent high swing, you could see exactly where it bounces was off the 0.618. So, that's pretty much the golden zone below 5 in the 0.618. I do consider sometimes a 3.8 anywhere between that and the 618 is the golden zone. But in this case, if you can get a correct bounce off of the 618, that is almost perfect. And it does come off a play of previous resistance as well. So it all lined up absolutely perfect for a nice bullish week, especially with the rates not changing. But in this current state, yeah, what a closing candle we might have. You could consider this an engulfing candle. We obviously still have one day, but the low here gapped up. So technically a proper engulfing, you would probably want it to gap down and close up. But in my opinion, any strong body like this that closes off that high like that, we could consider a nice bullish engulfing candle. So we'll see how, tomorrow ends. Hopefully we stay up where we are, and we could see if we could get, there you go. Yeah. Benji said the weak Neo Cloud strat. Awesome. Yeah, maybe next week we get into a nice move. You can see we are so extended on the oscillator as well with that bullish volume. So maybe that is the case. 15-minute though on the NASDAQ. Look at this massive move we've had here. Insane move. With a 3 signal. Like, this is autopilot as well, but overnight, massive move from 8, well, actually, it was 15 minutes, so 8 a.m. yesterday, and obviously FOMC played into this, but massive move on the NASDAQ. But let's take a look at gold. Yes, we had Omar say gold immediately, so that's always what we go to next after looking at ES. We look at some gold. And we could start off gold on the 15-minute here on this chart formation. Let's go to gold. And yeah, awesome. Okay, so like always, guys, we have our order blocks up. Gold blocks are 4 hours. White blocks are 1 hour. and then the green and red blocks are the current time frame, which is a 15-minute. So current situation, we have had a bearish change of character. Remember, we predicted this 2K move last week. We got it. We retraced down, and actually it ended up with a Neo strategy off of the 50-minute here with a closing back under. But look where it currently bounced. It bounced off a 1-hour order block, which is perfect. In this case, we had a very slight uptrend occur here, and now we are currently in a retracement. We got a bullish Neo cloud at the moment as well. So for now, like we like in our Neo strategy, it'd be cool to see that swing structure, this swing point get broken, and then maybe we could go retest these highs. But in the current situation, I would still be bearish until that does occur. On the 15-minute here, you can notice we are retesting this previous low, which is something that you would still want to watch in this this current 15-minute candle. So right now, short term, I do like it. Potentially short, but in this current candle, it's indecisive. So I would say we would need a red closed candle down for it to be short, or an actual breakout for it to be long. But in this current situation, there's no direction that I currently like. Can you go via NFP? Is that a... I don't know what NFP is. Do you know what NFP is, Mickey?
Non-farm payroll?
Oh, non-farm payroll. Gotcha.
Is that what he's talking about?
I'm assuming if that's what he's saying. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yes. We can look at it for sure. Sorry. NFP. That's funny. I've actually not. That's a good... I mean, we might as well abbreviate it because it's just... Funny enough, I haven't heard it said NFP, but I probably just missed that. Anyway, analysis-wise on gold, definitely don't know the proper direction yet until we see that structure shift. So if we wanted to be bullish, obviously the breakout, and then bearish would see a nice reject in this current candle. But for now, there's no direction in the 15-minute. Let me take a look at NQ here for a sec. We're just chilling off these highs. We are going to go over a potential update to the strategy here soon, because yesterday we actually did have a red day. That's why I'm wearing my red shirt today. But overall in the strategy, we like to talk about how when we're testing these things, and when we put it up against a prop firm, we want to test everything. So we want to allow every trade to be entered. There's 3 entries yesterday that all failed. We'll go over those entries. And so it ended up being a pretty bad setback for the strategy, but it also helps us understand, that needs to be fixed with it. So we'll go over that here in a little bit. But for now, let's jump over to Mr. Bitcoin. Look over the 4-hour starting. Bitcoin actually had I didn't even see this. Had a breakout. Nice breakout. It did get rejected, so that scares me for a potential liquidity grab to send this lower. That is a possibility. One sec here. So we'll see if we could get, a continuation or not on the downside here. But for now, as you can see, that daily order block, once it exited, found that support, we broke out. Had a nice break of structure. Here's that current retracement. If I were to pull off these here, and we are testing this fair value gap, right? We broke through, actually. We filled that gap entirely. We didn't even test it. We just filled it. And so now, in this case, if we could hold this resistance, we could maybe go retest that high, but I currently am not a huge fan of this back to the upside. But it is Bitcoin, so Bitcoin could have some crazy movements if this is the 4-hour. If you definitely, at any point when there's news. But we did talk about on the weekly chart for Bitcoin that we are currently in a breaker block. And I think it's a 4-hour. Let me double check. I'm actually going to make sure this is a 15-minute blocks here. Let's go to those 4-hour order blocks here. Sorry, I forgot I did not have my, I did not have my price action concepts updated. So make sure you do update your price action concepts because there are improvements and new features that you would like to have, like this multi-time frame structure scanner. I think that's default set to 1 hour, but you can change it however you want. We did go over this a few weeks ago when we released it. But when we were looking at this current format, it had the old price action concept. So I just had to update them there. So make sure you update them. All you do is take them off and then you add them back. Make sure it's 1.4.4. That's the current one we're looking at. So I think we wanted to do breakers on the 4 hour here is what we were looking for. Let me double check. If not, it's going to be the weekly chart. No, there you go. There's a 4 hour breaker, and I think the weekly actually does have a breaker as well there. So let me just pull that to chart because actually that's what I was trying to go for. So we'll line up. Bam, there you go. So you currently have a weekly breaker block and you have a 4 hour breaker block that is acting as resistance. So this is what we talked about early this week on Bitcoin. We want to see, how it reacts. So right now, of course, we're getting a reject, right? So if this does close below it, we have 3 days left in the Bitcoin weekly chart because it's, it trades 24/7. But if this does close out bearish, we did end up sweeping those highs. We're closing down bearish. So we could, in a sense, retrace back to this previous resistance, kind of fill some of that imbalance that we had on this pump. And that 31,000 would be the level that we were going to target. So we'll see if Bitcoin wants to close bearish here, but currently in a 4 hour and a weekly breaker block. So we'll see. I mean, maybe there's a daily here too. We might as well check, see if there's a daily breaker block as well. And no, we already broke through that daily breaker block. So yes, so the weekly and the 4 hour there lining up very nicely. So we'll see what happens after this week closes. But going into crude oil, actually, we had that crude oil report yesterday. It was already priced in. Remember, we talked about the low 80s acting as a bounce. We had that bounce occur today. Yesterday, it attempted to bounce, but it ended up closing red. But low 80s bounce. I don't think we fully broke below 80. We did not. So the bounce is happening right now. So crude oil had a lovely little rally today. It was a 5-minute chart. And we'll go over also on the strategy. We might be considering trading it on the 5-minute as well. But we did bounce, as you can see here, off a 4 hour order block this morning and set up a pretty much a head and shoulders setup here. As you can see, pull up my drawing right here and here. So there's your two shoulders. And I don't want to draw the head part because that would just look like something that we probably shouldn't talk about on stream. But let me pull up a drawing pattern. It's my bad. So here's your head and shoulders pretty much for that rally there that would have occurred. It's a very, very large sell-off there to form the head part. But ended up being a nice higher low and a trend change, and you could have gotten a nice scalp on that. So those are you to look for setups that would have been ideal. For the 4 hour time frame, we're showing a lot of wicks to the downside. And you can see bouncing off those 4 hour order blocks. So that is also meaning we are entering a 4 hour breaker, which is this guy here. And I have it based on the chart. I'm going to put this back on the 15-minute though. Take off the breaker blocks. And this is what we were talking about with the lower 80s. We saw multiple order blocks stacking up. We wanted to see if there was any reaction bounce. One of my favorite candle setups for a reversal is what I call the no wick retest, is where you have a candle that wicks way down, and then you have another candle that opens up, either has like an engulfing like this, or never comes down and fully retest the low of that candle. Now, it would have been a nice little 2-day trade or like 1-day trade there because it did end up wicking back below this low, but you can see now it is currently rebounding once again. So if you did enter a swing near that 4 hour order block, you might have had a pretty decent profit right now. You're about $2 nearly off of that low. But let's see here. People asking, good evening, Fancy. Welcome back, guys. Forgot to mention, Benji, welcome back. Alex, we appreciate you being here. Big Bubble said, can you please explain those order blocks work? Yeah, we'll go over them. That's why we're here to answer some questions. Fancy, if I didn't say welcome back. Brad, welcome. Appreciate you guys rejoining us here as we continue to go over the current chart. And man, I'm glad FOMC is over. Now we got at least a month to wait for that. Let me pull up.
That's what you think.
The music, right? I mean, what is the next one? It's once a month, so I'm trying to think. Next one is. Ooh, we're getting a breakout on MNQ. We had a new setup that I was going to talk about on the NASDAQ here. But I recently joined Lux. I got amazing profit this week. Made 1,700. Awesome, man. What'd you use? We should go over that. What'd you use? Did you use the price action concepts? I'm going to move this stop actually on this trade up. Because it'd be cool to find out what you use and we could talk about it. I might actually have to get food here, Mickey, too, man. My stomach's already growling. We got the current breakout here on NQ. I'm going to move my stop to that high, which I talked about before. Well, I'm going to wait until this candle closes. But yes, we'll go over yesterday, kind of what happened. And this morning we had 2 bad trades as well that didn't play out very well. But this one currently is a new type of trade that we're looking at that's playing out well at the current moment. So we'll see. But in this case, what we're looking at for the possible extra level of what we like to say confluence is the smart trail. So we were talking about how potentially if the smart trail is within, the Neo, could be a good indication for a setup. If it, exits back out, you had something like you could consider this a bull flag in this case on a 3-minute, but something where the price action is cleanly set. But instead of fully breaking out's still good, right? But instead of fully breaking out, maybe if the Neo's in there, retesting that Neo for a bounce, because there are a few things on like CL that had some crazy plays that we 100% missed, but because it never fully broke out of that Neo cloud. So we'll go over that as well here soon. But I don't know, Mickey, did you want to go over any charts? I know you wanted to talk about certain things, but
yeah, I'll go over some charts. Yeah, you want to go get something to eat?
I don't know, man. I'm trying
Chicken
to think what
biscuit.
I gotta go to the grocery. I had this sausage and egg pita this morning. That was really good.
Nice.
The people that make it's called Sandwich Bros. It was like
I'm gonna start eating on live.
These are my type of people. I want to move my stop above this wick low here. We're gonna see if we can play out through this.
Hey Christian, how you doing? Welcome.
Currently, right now, targeting a previous bounce level here. Nothing too crazy, but we like to play what we can. I'm gonna actually put it right here. It's a 5-minute close there. Those highs. Christian said, "Hey guys, first time catching live stream from you. Awesome. We like that you're here. Appreciate that you're hanging out with us. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Let's get the likes to 100 again today. We hit 100 yesterday. We're already at 40. So we appreciate you guys if you're here. We got 100 people. They can all like. Just hit that like button.
What do they do? Do they point down below? Like and subscribe.
Yeah, no, it is right below you. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us and developing these strategies with us as well. We're trying to come up with the best strategies using the Lux Algo indicator to trade whenever we can together. And we actually might hit our take profit here in just a sec, Mickey. So we'll wait on that.
Look at this.
Sadly, this is possibly going to bring us break even for the day, but we will talk about it here in a little bit after you go over.
Hey, break even's good.
Yes, it is. But a lot of things to
push it.
A lot of things to go over with the strategy for sure. We were $500 or $600 away yesterday. We had a 1K loss, and then today we're about break even.
Come on.
Already subscribed to the channel, of course. I appreciate it. What happened to you? Some chicken flu? I get allergic to my dogs sometimes. So today, just a little stuffed up. I honestly need to blow my nose. But yeah, let's go to the 4 hour.
Come on.
Go to that 4 hour. There's a 347. Or try the micros here. Go to 1 hour. We can pull up some order blocks here too to see if there's anything that we could potentially.
There's no news dropping, right?
I don't think so. Oh, we have an order block sitting up there. Oh, maybe we should target that 15K. So we take some off here. This is 90. How many is 90 on 5? 90's 225. That's fine. Might be sweeping. Might be sweeping. Sweeping it up.
Come on.
Yeah, we just went over Bitcoin. Prince, we can go over it again if you want. Unless you guys want me to leave that trade on screen, but we can go over Bitcoin. I guess we could actually pull, we could do 2 here. Let's do that. So you guys can watch it on the side. Let me pull up Bitcoin USD. So Bitcoin, we were talking about the weekly first. Oh, I forgot I have the time frame shared. Hold on. We were talking about the weekly chart on Bitcoin and the current breaker blocks that we were in. We were in a 4-hour breaker. Oh, why hasn't this pulled up? What the heck? I wonder. Those are the daily breakers. Let me pull up the 4-hour breakers. That's a 1 hour. Maybe white. Oh, we're in a 1 hour order block as well, actually. Breaker. There you go. Boom. Here you go. Oh yeah, and then the weekly. Is this on chart here? Chart. Yeah. Hold on. Pull up breakers. Okay. Boom. All right, we're in a lot of these breaker blocks right now. Obviously, on Bitcoin here, which is on our right side, I'm going to pull up, I guess, the watermark. Brad, what edition are you in? Are you on 1.4.4? Make sure you're on 1.4.4. Anyway, Bitcoin. This is a previous supply zone that we're currently in, right? We broke through it. That's why you see these breaker blocks. So this level here on Bitcoin, 35,000, it currently swept that high, but we do have 3 days left on this weekly close, so we'll see how this weekly ends up closing there. Prince. So we need to see this weekly close back over that high. If it does it, if it comes down and closes red, we're looking for a retracement back to, well, this daily breaker, honestly. We're looking for a retracement back to these highs for a setup. And then maybe we get a setup to continue to 40K. But for now, it's very promising seeing that we hit 36,000, I think. Let's see, what was the high? Almost 36,000, 35,997. Wow, that was close. But seeing 35K, pretty awesome. I will say, you know, this is a pretty exhausted Bitcoin at the moment. They're going to want to pull down price a bit, probably gather a little more liquidity before we take this even higher. So we'll see about that. Man, Mickey, maybe I should target this.
Easy
this
now.
order block up there. Should we target that order block? Just keep up in our stop.
Every time you go away from your rules.
We'll just keep upping our stop loss. I mean, my stop loss is at the. Our stop loss is at actually the first take profit that we wanted. But
yeah, I'm with you because you know.
Might as well let it.
My last.
This is where on the
trade.
Right. This is where on the strategy, I'm like it's fun to take it off quickly, but there's been so many times.
There we go.
There's been so many times recently that we've had really big rallies that we missed out on, and we had the
like the one I just closed out early on Monday.
We had the perfect entry. So like now that our normal take profit for those of you that are new is always a swing high here at candle close. So we have our stop there right now. So ideally we're going to hit that take profit. But we'll see. We'll hold to the order block here. That 15K probably would be the that's a pretty psychological level there. So we'll just put it at 15K. And then move our stop to every lower, higher low. Anyway, Bitcoin, yeah. Let's see how it closes, red or not. And then we'll see if we continue from there. That's a big thing because it did just make a massive rally. Let's see. Somebody said, I've been surfing the 2-minute hike and Ashley Sol USD chart using the trade catcher and oscillator matrix. Signals in 15-minute bearish only take shorts, 15-minute bullish only long. Some juicy scalps lately. So that played out pretty well. We've heard a lot of people do really well with the hike and Ashley. It's a good candles. I mean, they can really clean some false signals. There's just got to be careful using it. But if you know how to use it properly, then by all means do it. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys coming in here with the love from India. Any offers now on the indicator? At the current moment, no. You can get risk-free for 30 days. Just go to luxalgo.com or click the link in the description. You can get that risk-free for 30 days. But, yeah, we're here to answer any questions that you might have as well. Edward North's look at Alphabet again. We'll look at it. For now,
Google?
Yeah, he does. We'll look at Google. We'll look at it. For now, we're just going to stick around, look at see if this higher low will form on gold here, or on the NASDAQ. I just need to do the same thing. I'm going to do, while we're waiting too, guys, see if this gets stopped or not. I'm just going to go over how, might as well, how to add and do what I just did for the amount of order blocks. So if you want to add multiple order blocks, right, we want to see, 4 instances of order blocks on our chart. So I'm going to add price action concepts 4 times. Okay. So you'll see here, boom, 4 times it's on there. I'm going to get rid of these actually as well. So we have it on here 4 times, right? So since it's on here 4 times, I'm going to go into now my settings for one of them. And I'm going to up the order blocks to 500 so I see all of them, right? Then I want, first off, 4-hour order blocks. I go to time frame. Then I'm going to click 4-hour order blocks so I have those. I like to see them as gold order blocks. So I go right next to show last year and I switch these to gold. So now these are our gold 4-hour order blocks. So I want to see the volumetrics though in a large format, so I can see the labels in a large way. I go to order block metric size, and then I make it normal. So that's what I do for this. This is, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the structures for now, because I'm going to put that on a different indicator, or one of these other ones. So that's the 4-hour one. Then I go into my next instance, and I put on 500 again. And then I put, I think we're going to get stopped for profit here. Bam. All right, we're out. So our initial TP did hit. We could have had a little bit more on top of that, but I think we closed out for about 250. Okay, so for the next one, like I said, we want to do 1-hour order blocks. We go to the 1 hour here, and we said 500. And then I like to make these white for the 1 hour, so I make those white. And then, like I said, I like to change the the metric to normal. Oops, there you go. And then let's turn off the market structure for this. Hit OK here. And this one here, go to settings. And this was the daily. I probably should have put the daily first, but it's fine. Daily order blocks, I like to make those this pink color. And then I put 500. And then I go down again. I change the order block metrics to normal. And then, have you guys discussed to include a multiple time frame OB in on PSC indicator so that you don't have to add so many copies? No, because this is actually in the long run going to be a way better way to do it. If we had to where you could add multiple all together, it wouldn't really make sense, because in this case we can recolor it and all that. The settings menu isn't bombarded with a billion different order block styles kind of thing. This case is just so much easier. If you're saying that because of paying for TradingView, TradingView allows 2 instances, but if you pay for the base model, I think, what is it, 5, Mickey, for the base? and it's only like $12 or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
But yes, you're gonna want to. Yeah, you're gonna want to just do. It's just trust me. It's a lot cleaner this way. So because then you can turn off ones really easily, as well. So we have that up for the daily here. And then the last one is where I'm going to have my market structure. I'm first going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to change my internal label size to normal. So then the market structure is large. We can clearly see it. Change the order block to normal as well. And then this is going to be, we're going to leave it at chart for now. And then the normal colors. And then 500. That's what we have. So the reason I say it's nice to have multiple instances because watch, if I want to tick off like, the 4-hour order blocks, or if I want to tick off the 1-hour order blocks, I can just do that just like that, really easy. It's like I don't need to see those. Boom. I have just the chart order blocks. Now if I want to see them, I go tick them back on. That's why it's a lot easier doing it this way. And yeah, Prince, I do control my trades from trading view. Just on the features. It's like stocks and stuff. That's just done through another broker. But you can connect certain brokers on TradingView. But it's also to show you guys as well. Yeah, even look here. Let me talk about this. We could have taken a trade on this. This is what we were talking about on having the. Let me just turn this off. Having the NeoCloud and the Trend Catcher. Smart Trail. NeoCloud Smart Trail. This king, look, came back, retested, bounced off it twice, then we finally exited out of it there. We closed out. We would have taken a long off here. Stop below the low. We would have targeted the high, like I said before. But 2-to-1 was there. Is that the same high? There you go. It bounced off the Smart Trail as well. Notice here, so here you go. Here's an example of a failed trade today that we took. Took a short when this had a retracement here. Remember, this was our first initial break of a bearish NeoCloud. Obviously, this as well. The other reason we took this, even though that Neo was small, we talked about yesterday that there are times where small Neos is fine if the oscillator lines up, and it did here on this candle here, a turning point, bearish money flow still. And so we waited for the retracement on entry, and then it broke it. So we're thinking, the Smart Trail is a little more delayed than the Neo. So on 3-minute here, you can see those conflicted, so there would have been no reason to take a trade there. But then here, it bounced nicely, had that beautiful trend continuation. So that's what we're talking about. And then here, look, 3-minute, boom, Neo came in here. This is a perfect bear flag. It's not perfect. It's a little awkward, but it is a bear flag. Bounces off of that NeoCloud, breaks out, and then goes lower. So that's where we're like, this might be a good move for potentially having a filter on what's a good setup and what isn't, because it's a little bit more delayed of a trend following tool, and that might be the way to go about it. I think that's what we're going to possibly start doing for now. But Mickey, I think it's time for you to take over for a second and go over.
There you go. Go grab a bite to eat.
Thank you. Breaking out of that lower high on the floor.
I don't want to talk about NQ anymore.
You don't?
No, I'm just joking.
All right, you're up, my friend. But we'll get back to some certain questions. If you guys have questions for me, leave it in the chat. We will be back there soon. And Mickey's going to talk about certain things he saw as well, while I look at other things too.
All right, very good. ES chart on a 4-hour time frame. I want to go over patterns, right? I'm going to talk about the ES, right? And then I'm going to take that concept. I'm going to move over to NQ and actually go over my long entry on NQ on Monday, I believe, which I closed out way too soon. But ES, I always preach that I want to trade on the reaction of price when it gets near an order block, right? I don't want to trade inside an order block. I want to trade on the rejection of an order block or a break out of an order block, okay? As we see here, the colored order blocks are my higher time frame order blocks, which are the dailies. The gray tone order blocks are the charting time frames order blocks, which is the 4-hour chart order blocks. Now, when price comes down, it does not hit any order block as far as I can tell, unless I add more order blocks, which I'm not going to do. Price just keeps on going up. So do we miss the trade? Yeah. You know, per the rules, you sit on your hands, right? You sit on your hands and you wait. And you waited for this move. It broke out of an order block. Okay. This move, it broke down. All right. For about 4 to 8 hours, it was breaking down. So on this move right here, you would go down to a lower time frame, right? You find your market structure change to the downside, and you get out of dodge when it turns against you. That's your small loss. That's the loss that we need to learn to take, right? We took that small loss. If you would have taken this one, you waited, and then you got in here. You made up for that loss and then some, probably 10 times over, right? But how do you get into this trend? I could tell you how, right? Pattern detection. Okay. Let's go over the settings. Scroll down, price action concepts, right? Liquidity concepts, enable patterns. I have the default setting of 5, the sensitivity, right? What is this pattern? Well, with price action concepts, I don't have to do Googling. I don't have to memorize anything. Right here, if you hover around the dashboard, descending wedge, what does that mean? Bullish reversal pattern anticipating an upside breakout. A falling wedge, a potential reversal pattern to the upside. Okay? That's what happened. Also, I've overlaid another set of price action concepts to show me another pattern, a micro pattern. I want to see a smaller pattern inside the macro pattern of the falling wedge. I have the setting set to 2. I have the colors changed so I can figure out which is which. Okay, let's enable those. There you go. You got the green and you got the pink. The dashboard in the bottom is smaller than the one on top. I changed the settings so I can easily glance at it to know which pattern I'm looking at. The smaller micro pattern says the same thing, descending wedge. So they are both in confluence. So when price action creates this order block, where does it create? It creates it from here. All right, hold on. Somewhere in there. Okay, it's not accurate, but somewhere there.
Yeah, we can go over some
right.
some stocks there, Alex. Just, I mean, but you know, ES and Q is what's driving. I mean, it's the same,
Okay.
same thing.
So we have a change in structure to the upside. At this point, you have an order block printed to the upside. Price breaks out of the detected pattern. What is it? Descending wedge. Possible break to the upside. You took the entry. Winner, winner, chicken dinner to the next order block. All right. Let's go over the NQ. Same thing. This is the trade I took. This is the trade I took. I took it. I took the long at the close of this bar. Right? And this is the price. 14.58. Just one contract. This was the day of, what is it? FOMC, right? So I scalped this going, how much did I scalp? 319 ticks. That's $5 a tick.
Ooh.
Just a little bit under $1,600.
Ooh. Look at it.
FOMO, right? The real trade was order block to the order block, right? Jesus, what is that? 1,000 ticks? It's a $5,000 trade I left on the table.
Mickey,
but
what are you doing?
but whatever. But take a look at why I entered here. Let's turn on the pattern. Look at that. At the close of this bar, we broke up. Okay, we are breaking away from this order block. Let's turn on the micro pattern. Symmetrical triangle, meaning it could go either way. The macro pattern. Let's see. It's hovering, it's hovering. Come on, show up. Hold on. Come on. I have so many overlays. There you go. Descending broadening wedge is a bullish reversal pattern anticipating an upside breakout.
Wow, and you just highlighted over that and it showed you what it was?
Yeah, look at that. See?
It's pretty awesome.
Awesome, all right? Take a look at that. That is the reason why I got into this trade. If it wasn't for JP, the real swing trade was up here. Winner, chicken dinner. But I got scared with JP, right? So I just cashed out at a little bit under $1,600. So that was good for me, right? No greed. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it with NQ. All right. You have anything else you want to go over, or do you? I can come back and talk about signals and overlays later.
1 second.
You hungry?
So I was answering whose question? Supreme, yes. Here we're back before you had your break there, just like he showed there. This is the NQ, same thing. So it did form before. That's why we say do those higher time frames for the patterns specifically too. There are a lot, like anything a higher time frame, obviously analysis is way better than for micro analysis. So do your macro analysis, then dive in and look for your entries. But there you go. It's the same pattern formed right when that occurred. He was asking if that pattern was actually valid at the time, because it can't adjust itself because it is automatic. But yes, that's why we always say go for the 4 hour, 1 hour, probably lowest 15 minute if anything. But there you go. But back to you, brother. What I don't know. We can continue to look at things.
Yeah, let me go over signals and overlays, right? It's another premium indicator. Some folks like market structure, plain chart, and some folks like trending indicators, which I do too, right? Let's go over popular ES.
Brad was asking about the length of the order blocks. You know, you can change the length.
Oh yeah, let me go back.
But if you open the settings and just show them how, if you just put your cursor over the eye, it'll tell you too what each thing means. But you can explain it too if you want.
Okay, this is not the wrong one. This one, let me disable this one. Let me disable all this. The order blocks I show right here are the charting times frames order blocks, 4 hour, right? Volumetric order blocks, default length of 5. Time frame will be the charting time frame order blocks.
Put your cursor over the eye there next to the length. If you do that, you can see it says look back period used to detect swing points for the construction of volumetric order blocks. So it's gonna change based on what swing points it's calculating off of. So the more you increase it, the more like probably the more significant swing points it's going to go for. But we always recommend for certain things like this, unless you're looking into the settings and want to understand, maybe like an experiment, then you would try, a higher length to see if you like those more. But we'd always recommend using default on certain things like that if you want to just do your regular analysis. But I would adjust it if you're looking for something a little different.
Correct. I mean, you could change the length to a higher length to give you a larger swing market structure to plot. But for me, what works better than that is keeping this as default and using another higher time frame.
Yes.
To look at market structure, right?
Exactly.
But whatever you do, you got to be consistent. You can't mix and match this concept, right? If you're gonna raise this length to 10, use 10, right? On all the other charts. You don't want to mix these things up. I mean, that's just my opinion, right? But all right, let's go over the ES. We have here signals and overlays, right? I disable the candle coloring. If it looks, I'll go candle coloring, trend color, right? I wanted to disable that so we can focus on other features of the chart. I don't want the colors to give you a certain bias. If you see all this red, you may not even look at this stuff, right? So if we disable the color, now your eyes are focused on the matrix and the neo cloud. All right. Okay. I also have price action concepts. I'm only enabling premium and discount zones. Premium, discount, and we have equilibrium, right? We want to sell when prices are high. We want to sell when prices are in a premium zone. We want to buy when the prices are low. We want to buy when prices are in a discount area. Let's take a look at this concept. Let's concentrate on this one concept. Forget about the matrix for now. We can add that into the mix a little bit later. Okay. All right. When price action was forming up here, the premium zone was plotted right here. As price goes down below the premium, that's hitting discount area, right? It's coming down, now it comes back up. So now this discount area is set in stone. It's not moving because price is going away from it. So it's set in stone. Just like this premium, it stopped going higher and it's coming back down. This is set in stone. This discount area is set in stone. Now we wait. Price is going up, market structure, hits the neo cloud, bounces off, hits it again, it breaks this level. We have a market structure change to the upside, right? If you learn how to read market structure, just eyeball it. Does not need to be exact. Take a look at this. Comes back down, market structure, comes back down, pull back. I'm still making lower highs and lower lows. Comes back down. Here we go. Now it goes back up. Higher high. Comes back down. Comes back up. Market structure change to the upside. Signals and overlays. Signal alerted for a buy signal. We are in a discount level. So now I go down to a lower time frame. I want to see price on that chart's discount zone for me to take a buy into a premium zone, right? Let's go to a 15-minute. Well, let me show two charts here so I can demonstrate the cursor. All right. All right. So when this signal fired off, we had multiple signals to the upside. All right. Where did it start? Started way back in here. Okay. It started in this zone. While we were in this zone, there was a premium and discount zone plotted here. All right. So you're taking these scalps, but let's go to the current setup. We have a buy signal. Neo Cloud is bullish. All right. We're taking this entry to the upside. All right. Where's your exits? Potential exits. Signals and overlays already marked it off for you. We don't have to think, right? Here's another X. Here's an X. Potential exits. Here's another X. That's the third one. The maximum potential exits are 3s. Right? Guess what happened? After this third one, you have a signal to the downside. I'm out. At this time, I am out. I'm not being greedy. I'm out. And of course, it went up again. But that's just another day, another story. If you want to take that trade, but on this initial trade, you have 3 exits, and we have an exit signal to the downside. All right. This is on a 5-minute. I know a lot of people love trading 5-minute, 3-minute, 1-minute. Right. Let's take a look at it on the 15-minute. Has to be the same story. There you go. Okay.
Brad, the discount. Sorry, the premium discount zones. Yes, it pulls from swing both swing high and swing low, and then equilibrium's 50%.
Okay, let me go over. Let me hide the signals and overlays. Right. Here is the premium and discount zones. All right. Let me move this out of the way here. Okay. Now, in the price action concepts, we have another feature too. Show strong, weak, high, low. It's the same level as premium discount zones. Watch. Give it a second. It's going to plot. There you go. See? Weak, high, strong, low. This one actually gives us a ray to the actual candlestick where it's pulling from the pivot fractal to create your structure, right? Pulling from there. See this ray? And that is the low. This is the lowest price candle of this midterm swing structure. This is the highest price. The equilibrium is in the middle. It's the 50% fib level. Let's fib it, and I'll show you.
Fib it up.
Right? High to low. See the 50% fib? Exactly at the equilibrium. Yes. So that is how you use the premium discount zones. But take a look at this.
I got a quick example.
Take a look at this. Where is price right now, Jacob?
Now we're in premium, baby.
Yeah, it's hitting our golden pocket. I don't care what golden pocket you use, right? So this may be an area where we got to say, why don't we look for a short if we're using Fibonacci techniques? Take a look at this. If you zoom out, we are in a downtrend, right? Even though the market's screaming higher all week. But in the big picture, we are down. Take a look at these measured moves to the downside. Are we having another one? Right? Think twice about longing this market right now. Right? End of the year. People need to close out. Do your taxes. They re-enter the market after the new year.
Yeah.
Right?
True volatility is going to start getting higher and higher near the end of the year here.
All right. less confusion. Let's disable premium discount zone. That's your fib chart, right? But we don't have to use the fib chart. We don't, because price action concepts makes life easier. I don't have to keep on redrawing the fibs. This automatically plots it for me. That's a beautiful thing, right? But now what you could do is add your oscillator matrix. You can trade right here on this chart, most definitely, right? Take a look at this. Price is at a premium area. Take a look at where the money flow is. Take a look at the hyperwave. Where is this at right here, Jacob, right?
Yeah, extended, man. There's nothing but
that is
bull
extreme highs. We are absolutely extended. What can happen here? What is your term that you say? When we have so many turning points inside?
Confluence?
Yeah, no, there's another term.
Coiling.
Yeah. The worst that you could have here is coiling up here. All right? Once it coils, and if this money flows turns a little bit wider, guess what? I'm in like Flynn. I'm shorting this market because of this fib.
Yeah, like Flynn.
Let's go to a daily. Let's see what a daily looks like. I'm curious. Look at that. If the market breaks this area and this level, see, if you look to the left and if you just eyeball your levels, all right, those are two major levels, I think, right? God forbid if we broke down below this. It'd be it'd be a sad way to end the year. All right. But
pretty awesome example here with premium discounts.
Yeah. All right. You have any alerts set up for crude or NQ at this time?
No, I was saying I have a pretty awesome example with premium discounts for gold.
Go. Yeah, I want to see it.
All right. So, Brad is asking about the FVG as well. Well, that's the cool part about this indicator price action concepts. You can apply the FVGs. But the structure currently on gold is fantastic. This is a 3-minute, and we pull up 5-minute, be a little bit similar. But we've recently been using 3-minute quite a bit. So look at this current 3-minute. We'll see how it plays out. It might form a bull flag here. But notice, premium, we just broke the equilibrium, but look where it broke. It broke a previous swing point. The box is already shaded there for us on the equilibrium. So we can tell that if a retracement in this zone gets bought up, then it might be a good trade to, target these upper FVGs as well. The other cool thing, what you can do is, notice, for those of you that don't know this, if you go into your settings and go down to FVGs, there's a volatility threshold. I would put this on a 1. It's default to 0. Look what happens when I put it on 0. You're about to see a bunch of other FVGs pop up. Now, you can trade those, but in my opinion, if you actually do trade imbalances, you want more volatile imbalances. Ones where it's a lot of selling pressure, a lot of buying pressure has popped, right? So increase that to 1, and you'll see those go away. It's going to show you just significant ones like that. So having that in play with gold here on a 3-minute low time frame, in my opinion, we just broke. We had to change character, 2 break structure so far. This could be a trade opportunity off these highs. So look for this bull flag to form in this current moment. You got lower highs. We would want one more lower low, right? If we get that to occur. One more lower low, and then we get that breakout again, then you take your entry for a continuation back up to there, right? So it breaks out, and then you target the upper order block, or TP1 would be, you could say, this FVG's TP1, this FVG's TP2, final take profit is that upper order block. So totally possible there on the 3-minute here, just using the premium discount zones, the market structure, and fair value gaps. If we were to pull back to the NASDAQ, actually, let's kind of look. NASDAQ today, premium would have set pretty high. Probably wouldn't really had any setups. Here you go. Gold. Crude oil probably could have had something. Let's look at it around this case here earlier today. And this is a 3-minute chart, very low time frame. But again, you had, a somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern, breaks out, and then now it retraces. And there's a fair value gap. Was there any setups? No. So if we were talking FVG setups, there wouldn't have been any on gold. There is one from down here that got traded, but in this case, that did occur a little too high there above into your premium zone. So at this current moment, we're actually pushing the premium quite a bit here on CL. We did sweep these highs. So if we were to get, a change of character again to the downside, break a structure, flipped, showed an FVG, there could be, a potential setup to that equilibrium. But I like gold a lot here because of where it's set up, and it's currently trying to form that bull flag. Is there a way to determine a stronger FVG, for example, using a little higher time frame? Yeah. So you could also set a time frame on the FVG. So I could set up, a 5-minute FVG on here. See if a 5-minute occurs. Or if I want a 15-minute FVG. This is, we're on a 3-minute chart, but let's look at a 15-minute FVG there. Then bam, you can see where they are. So here's your 15-minute FVG down here. If I go to the 15-minute chart, you can see it's off of this candle. So you're trading 5-minute, 15-minute type style. I could change that. Now I have a bigger zone to target, and these are more significant zones, right? So I could take an entry on this one and then target that one up there for a nice little breakout. But in this current situation, I like that we're showing support off this previous resistance. So there you go. You'll see this is, this occurred after that change of character as well. So sometimes people like to take, FVGs that occurred before the change of character. But in this case, for 15-minute, it's not too shabby. There we go. I brought it in. It's not too, you got that in my mind now, Mickey. Not too shabby. Not too shabby of a potential.
Not too shabby.
Potential setup there. Silver, I was going to look at too. I haven't looked at silver in a while, but here you go. Silver is even showing FVG reject. I was pulling up a bunch of other futures that can be traded. Like, honestly, I was shocked seeing how much volume soybean oil gets. It actually gets a decent amount of volume, so I might actually consider trading this at some point. But here you go. This is a good example. 5-minute, 15-minute order block, right? For soybean, which is kind of crazy. But it doesn't matter. If it trades, market structure, why not trade it? Anyway, you have your 15-minute fair value gap there. That's formed, and you can see it's nearly identical to the 5-minute off of a change of character. Take entry off the equilibrium here, or the middle point of that fair value gap. Set it below that candle low, and then target the upper order block, or I have it on a short, sorry. Like this. That's a 15-minute fair value gap. Then target the upper order block, or that's over 2 to 1. And then you would have actually hit it. So it's already retracing back into it, but it would have hit 2 to 1 on a breakout. So that's some way you could utilize, 15, like higher time frame FVGs if you want. That's all in those settings there, which is pretty cool. But the volatility threshold can really help too, to help identify, stronger potential setups. So we'll see kind of how that plays out as well here. 3-minute broke the on silver there, broke that. I was going to see how our potential strategy forms on other assets other than what we are normally trading. See Nat Gas currently taking out those highs. Crude oil took out the highs, trying to set a double top right now. So we'll see kind of if it can come down from there. But gold here. Here we go. This is what we talked about just a second ago. Honestly, in this case, I'm going to take this off. Pull this back up. Here's your 15-minute fair value gap, right? If this is now forming a proper bull flag. If this breaks out, we might take a trade and see if it can retest like this here. Let's see what happens here on gold. But overall, oscillator's still kind of high, which kind of on the 15-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute. Still high up there. It is bearish money flow. But I don't know. Let's see. Based on market structure, why not try and see if this wants to follow it. 3-minute and 5-minute both forming a potential bear flag or bull flag here. Sorry. So we'll see. We're at the equilibrium. We could just target, you know, in a second. If it breaks out of this, we'll probably hit an entry somewhere around here. We would put our stop and swing low. We'd target first would be here, so it should be a 1-to-1, and then you would target that upper order block, which would also be a 2-to-1. So nice potential setup here on gold after bouncing off, guess what, a 5-minute order block down here perfectly. So this could be forming quite a nice setup. So we'll kind of wait on that. Nat gas also at the equilibrium, rejected off a 5-minute order block there. Let me pull up. Let's go to the 3-minute again. Man, MNQ is just pulling that smart trail up big time. It's like way inside of. See how the Euro FX is doing. Future. NG's rejecting. ES. As well as riding the same. So here we go. We'll just keep an eye on gold here. And leave up this guy. So you could have even taken entry off that 5-minute or 15-minute fair value if you wanted to. But also, look, if I would have just put on the current chart fair value gap, we would be right off that equilibrium. So what I'm going to do as well, let me turn this off for a second. We never broke below either, which is pretty cool. If this candle closes here, could be worth a attempt. Let's see. Then you target, you know, we got plenty of targets here. We'll see. It is later in the day. We do have 2 hours left. But for a market structure setup here, it is pretty nice. Let's look at what the actual the AI classifier says as well. Pull up the signals. One sec. Oh, the autopilot is on. Okay. So it is in a 2 signal here, and it is setting up. So maybe there is a potential here. Let's see if we got some bullish colored candles as well. Yeah, we do. Everything kind of lining up here, other than the money flows there too. Wow, see, look at that. We could actually have a trade set up. Other than the Neo. The Neo is the only one that isn't, but it is coming out of a bearish Neo. So we'll take the bearish Neo off for now, but let's see. Might as well. If this thing, you know, we'll get a turning point here if it does show some volume. And then you have, you know, your bull flag. So everything's lining up, right? It is lining up. Doesn't mean it's going to be 100%, plus the volume's kind of low because it's late in the day. Today's volume on gold has been kind of choppy. Not too crazy. But let's see if it wants to actually come out of this bull flag, and then we'll look for... Does the threshold FVG depend on the time frame? No. I mean, it's the same. It's just going to read off of this time frame. one on that time frame, you know, whatever it is, this chart. So it's going to read off of the one. And oh, forgot to mention, if you have questions like that, you can go to the resources and hit the guides here. For somebody that was asking about the TP and stop loss points, all you have to do is go to signals and overlays, click TP stop loss points, and look, I have a description on how to use it and what it does. In that case, you said, does the threshold of the FVG depend on time frame? I can go to price action concepts. I can go to imbalance concepts. We can look down at that was the, let me see here. Should be a threshold thing. Let's actually, before, I don't want to miss gold here, so let's make sure we're keeping an eye on gold. Opening gap, balance, price range. It's going over all the FEG. Here you go, volatility threshold. Volatility threshold allows filtering out less significant imbalances, with higher values preserving imbalances with a larger range. Volatility threshold is determined from a volatility estimator. The threshold acts as a multiplier. Increments of 1 will return visible results. Floating points can be used. So there you go. You want to just do it one by one, and it follows just a volatility estimator on that current time frame. And then you can alert those as well. But of course, if you have any questions, make sure to check out the documents. They're all there. Can really help with what we're looking for. Okay. Let's see here. Got 17 seconds. I wonder if we could.
Are you gonna take it?
I mean, we might as well. We can just try it. See what it wants to do. Right? Why not? Let's see here. Can I get a 19.3.3? It says volume's so low. See if we can get a entry down here. Very low risk here too, which is nice. We'll just set it below this candle's low. See if it wants to break out. Obviously, guys, this is not financial advice. I wouldn't just follow blindly this trade that I made. I'm just going based off of the bull flag forming, as well as the turning point here, the signal, the FVG bounce. This bull flag, it probably is the smarter way of trading a bull flag is probably wait for the actual breakout, but we'll see if it plays out here. But again, for current situations like this, it's like whatever's gonna work for you is how you want to do it. This isn't a certain strategy that I trade, but I'm noticing certain things lining up. So we'll see if it plays out. Obviously, nothing's 100%, but you never know. But any other questions? Nice docs. Yes. Check out the documents, guys. I can't stress this enough. Like, people ask all these questions. They're wondering. You can literally just go through the documentation and learn every single bit about every single feature. Somebody asked about the oscillator matrix, and actually, we'll go over that. Who asked about that? Let me see. Somebody asked about the oscillator matrix. We have a very tight stop here on gold, so it could potentially break down and run, but we're kind of just playing around anyway, so we'll see if it goes or not. Let me see. NQ, though, had a lovely breakout and continued. It actually hit our TP, I think. Hold on. Let me see. NQ. We had those order blocks up earlier. Did it hit our TP? Oh, it almost would have. 15K. Almost did. Oh, wow. 14,999.50. Wow. That would have been real, real close. So that's another case where, you know, for stop loss management, guys, if, you know, certain things you wait, right? When you move stops, you want to do like, you know, a stop loss here. And then you want to do what? Another stop loss here, right? After they form. Once that forms here, then you put it below the wick. You start moving it, you move it up. Then you move this guy up there, and then you would move this. I mean, this one you actually wouldn't move yet. No higher low's been set. Maybe this guy. You probably would have finally gotten stopped on that. But again, this is where we also say, like, if you do use signals and overlays, you could hold potentially through green candles. Green candle holds can be massive. Like, here you go on this. If you would take an entry here, sold at the 2, perfect. Take an entry here off the 3 signal, then held through. Boom, sold at the 2. This one would have been, that would have been not a 2-to-1, but it would have been 84 points on the NQ. This is all pre-market though, of course. But it looks like, yeah, gold's not moving anywhere. We're just 10 in profit right now. Or sorry, 10 in the red, $10. So 1 tick in the red. But man, what a move. Jimmy, if you're here right now for a little bit, we can watch it. And yeah, I mean, you can take off too. Of course, that's what these exit points are for. So on the NQ here, let's say if you're trading multiple micros, every single time you see an X, that is the indicator telling you that these are good times for TP. Price could freeze here. And then your final take profit. I think the max X's is 4. But let's check the documents, right? If we want to know what are the max amount of signals on here. If we go to signal settings. Let's see. I think it's in candles. Another candle. There we go. I just do a little bit of look through here. Single modes. Here we go. Single modes. Contrarian. It's in here somewhere. But I think there is a max of 4. If we look through this long enough, we could find it. But oh, here we go. A bullish exit signal is displayed as with a blue cross, while as an orange cross. They might not have the actual amount. These exit signals aim to exit position based on previous confirmation signal at the highest possible price. Also note that such exits would always exit a previous confirmation signal on a win. Successful exit signals can occur during long-term trends. As such, the user can do partial exits instead of exiting an entire position, like we just went over. It doesn't say the max, but I do think the max is 4. I could double check on that though. But again, I mean, 3 TP points is already a lot, right? Oh,
3 waves, right? ABC.
ABC. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go look at gold. Let's go back to gold for a sec. We're continuing that bear flag or that bull flag back and forth. Volume is very low too right now, so we'll see if this even plays out. But you can see it's just barely ticking back and forth here. But we'll keep an eye on it. See where she goes. Maybe we'll get a nice little push to the upside. But what do you recommend for signal sensitivity, and do you recommend turning on autopilot? Autopilot is, I would recommend having it on if you are, looking at multiple things, right? Yes, yeah, like quickly going through them. And if not, if you have a set number, which we talk about how we look at about 6 at a time. If you have a set number, then I would turn off autopilot. You're going to get the best sensitivity off of the dashboard. Dashboard current best sensitivity right now in the past 150 bar calculation is 10, right? So I set it to 10. Now you do have to do this as the trading goes on to help you set up. Notice how much better those signals are. 3 signaled here, bam, exit there, bam. 3 here, exit there, bam. 3 here, exit there, bam. I mean, today was insane on the 5-minute signals. You would have had 1 trade for 15 points there, early pre-market. Second trade here would have paid 12 points. Third trade today would have paid 10 points. You would have literally been up over probably 40, 50 points today. Actually, you had a trade earlier today here. Would have been up 50 or 13 points. Massive day for these signals. But I optimized sensitivity based on what it told me. Yeah, it probably won't be. We'll see if it whatever it does. But we're just like simmering in profit right now and out of profit. So we'll see. Very tight stop loss. So it's like, this is just for fun, obviously. Just see kind of how it plays out. Sometimes the recommended sensitivity is jumping heavily up and down from 10 to 19 and back in just 1 or 2 candles. Majority of the time it shouldn't. It depends on what you're trading. If you see it jumping back and forth that quickly, then it's probably not a time to trade. I wouldn't be trading that time. Anything you notice that isn't, being consistent. Like, let's see where it was at this morning. Let's see if it changed. Because it's going to, so it was 16 here. So that's based on the last 150 bars. Look at the difference, though. Look at the difference here versus where it was here, right? So it's choppy here. So it's basing it off of 150 bars, right? Off of what currently just happened. Now, as this goes on, it's going to adjust itself. So all you do, you just adjust it when it tells you to adjust it. It's going to help identify analysis. This is the other thing, though, is you don't want to just, plug in 10 and then I'm trading each signal. Like, that's what I'm going to do. It's like, that's never going to work. This is why we were talking about with the NeoCloud strategy. I was so shocked on, hey, we're in profit. On the NeoCloud strategy, we were up. We had, I think, 10, or sorry, not 10. We had like 6 or 7 profitable days in a row off of one feature in the signals and overlays indicator. That's like extremely surprising because that's normally not how it works. You need multiple levels of signaling or confluence to tell you what's going to happen, right? Signal work on, yes, sensitivity works on contrarian mode as well. It's going to tell you accordingly. If we go back to that, I can show you. So like during a choppy market, that's what I was saying during a chop market. If I can find a decent chop market that's not like super just back and forth like that. Let me find it. No, we haven't had too crazy of chop markets recently. Some nice moves. Yeah, this is better. Here we go. So like here, we notice the smart trails are flipping, right? So more than likely I would do a contrarian mode. And then you're going to see your sensitivity. Let me put on contrarian candle coloring as well. There you go. You're going to see that your sensitivity, it's asking for 12. So we go to 12. Or sorry, in this current situation it was 12. Let's go back to like here. It was 18. So it still works. It's still asking for, still telling you the sensitivity. So there you go. 4 would have had there, 1 there. Now this 3 came through. And see if you got another 3 signal there. So it's going to change accordingly. But again, this is the 5 minute. That's why I always recommend, like, if you're just going to follow something like signal wise, you want to probably look at higher time frames. Because then you look at your lower time frames on what you're going to be trading. But this is why we say, you know what? Like, if you're looking through multiple ones, you don't understand what sensitivity in that time and how that trades, that specific asset trades, then use Autopilot. Autopilot's going to, at the end of the day, it's going to adjust everything for you. And it's going to give you, you're going to start to notice what works the best using the Autopilot sensitivity. So it comes down to, what's going to work with what you're used to watching. I would say stick to one thing, like Alex said, contrarian with Neo and Smart Trail. If those are the 3 that he really likes, you need to sit there. Let's say you trade ESNQ and gold and crude oil. You need to watch all 3 of those with those settings as much as possible. Start to understand how the indicator trades with those settings. And then you'll start to be like, okay, this is good entries, this is bad entries kind of thing. And we're just chopping around once again. We tried to break out and broke back down. So in this case, let's see the 5 minute. Yeah, the volume's just very dead. We're still in a bearish smart trail on the 5 minute here. So I don't know. This will probably end up stopping at this point. You could close off here if it didn't get the full break of that, but volume is really low, so it's more than likely not going to play it in our direction. But we'll just let it play out. But somebody, let's see. Do you ever change the setting on internal and swing market striker? I don't personally know. But again, it comes down to you and what works for you. It's not what works for me, because what works for me is going to be different to what works for you. I need to change the song. That sounds weird. Let's take off this. Talk about our... Wait, hold on. I might as well go over our trades here. One sec. CL. So yesterday, I want to talk about our trades that we were looking at. Neo Cloud, the 3 minute, and then let me take off the signals. So it is crazy that we were able to have, be as profitable we were for over a week with just one feature, right? That's not usually normal. Yesterday, here we go. Yesterday, we traded this right here a little early, sadly, but we liked it, right? This was a fake out type situation. We saw the Neo flip. Remember I said before that we kind of like this, like we don't care anymore how thin that Neo was because we like the filtering of the money flow. And it actually ended up being a massive entry, but sadly stopped us out. So we noticed we had a turning point on this candle, right? You can see right here. We had the break of the high of that Neo, and then we're breaking lower. So we took, we said retrace to that Neo for an entry. Took it there, stop above the high. And then, we target this low, or, if we want to hold more, if we have multiple, we'll target something else. But you can notice here that first occurrence, money flow just flipped as well. So that's why I was also very bullish, still down or bearish, still downtrending. Took it off there, got stopped out through that high. So the next thing we were like, okay, maybe if we were to put on, the smart trail, what was it looking like at this current moment? So the smart trail was actually bearish too at that moment. But what I was saying recently is maybe we trade the smart trail, when it's inside the Neo kind of thing. But that's currently what we're still looking at. But again, occurred this time, closed back over, right? Broke back down, had a better turning point up in the positive, which that could potentially be what we need to look for. Is maybe we need a turning point above 50 for, when it occurs after a trend reversal, like after this flips. Because here would have paid perfectly. But then after this, what stinks is look at all the times that it retraced and then dropped. Retrace, drop, retrace, drop, retrace, drop. We're thinking, man, if we had a better setup for this, for these potential things, we could have had multiple trade opportunities. And maybe it is the maybe it's seeing, I think who said that? I said it earlier today. A guy in our group. He changed his name to S.
Okay.
He changed his name already. Anyway, he was saying, look, maybe watching the way it reacts inside of Neo and waiting for a bearish turning point on the oscillator for an entry. That's like a secondary entry, like another type of entry you could take. Because look at this happening here again, inside turning point, bearish money flow, right? Happened multiple times on CL yesterday. But that occurred. And then I was like looking at the 5 minute as well. I was like, okay, maybe we get a setup on the 5 minute. Took an entry off of this retrace and got stopped down here. So that wasn't as ideal, obviously, because the money flow just flipped, but it was flipping back and forth at this high. And this is where we also talked about, if you're in a big uptrend like this and it comes back down, retests. I forgot. The report, so we had a report yesterday, right? And it happened at 10 a.m., which is right here. So noticing the report was near, we were still positive on that report. I was thinking because we were still low 80s that we would have, if a setup occurred, we would have a better chance of heading higher. That wasn't the case. I guess it was already priced in and ended up heading lower. So that's what ended up hitting us out again on that. So today, I was going to see. Today we had on the 5 minute actually a setup here. But notice the money flow wasn't there, but it still made that rally. So it's like, this is where it's like figuring out, would the 5 minute be better? Would the 3 minute be better? It's like we haven't done it long enough. You can see today on the 3 minute, I took the trade because that's what we talked about. And you can notice here as well, if we would have taken based on what we talked about earlier, you had the flip and then you had the turning point outside. We took our entry off of, retracement here. and then it broke out, and then we got stopped. My stop was right. It was very small, but we got stopped out on that breakup. So it's like maybe it is worth taking the 5 minute. We won't have as many setups, I don't think. But in this case, the only weird part about this is you broke below it, it closed back above it. And if you would have taken an entry here, our stop would have been set at this low, would have gotten stopped. But that's why it's like, maybe, wait for a cleaner close up or something. And this is why we test it, right? We take every possible entry to understand what works and what doesn't. And so in that case, we ended up down again. Let's see if did gold stop us there? I could just look here. No, it's back in. It's just really slow right now. So we're back at break even. We'll see if it plays out though. Maybe we'll get a breakout. But that's just part of learning a new strategy and developing a strategy, is watching to see when it fails and when it doesn't. And then obviously NQ today, we had that trade when you guys were on, hit for about 200 something. And this is a different one. This was a different scenario. It was like, man, watch what happens though when I add the smart trail. This is what's crazy about today. We go to the 3 minute. Okay. We go to the 3 minute, right? We bounce off the smart trail inside the inside the Neo Cloud. That's what this was be the new idea. Bounce off the smart trail inside the Neo Cloud. Once we break out the smart trail, we add an entry point on top of the smart trail. We would have gotten tagged in here or even there on the second candle, which is what happened. We got tagged in on this first one. We target this high, right? We did take off at the high, but we set stops at lower highs. Higher lows, sorry. Set stops at higher lows, and it still would be rallying. Notice, though, today, on CL, 3 minute. At this moment in time, wouldn't have been a trade, right? It was a bearish Neo. Look what happened here. Bounced off of it, exited, entry, rallied through the high with the smart trail inside the Neo. That was really good there. Anyone on gold today? Look at gold on the bear side. Gold switched, retraced, rejected off of the smart trail inside the Neo Cloud. Wait for an exit of the Neo, and bam, broke down new low. Let's look at YM. YM is going to be the same as the others. But again, comes in, bounces off this, comes back up, holds, rallies. In that case, I probably wouldn't take it. I would wait for a confirmed setup like this. Breaks out and then rallies again. Nat gas. Do we have a setup on Nat gas today? No setup entirely on Nat gas today. But if we go, let's go to the Euro FX. Euro FX. Look at this. Changes on the Neo. Retest the Neo with the smart trail at the same time. Rejects that smart trail and it breaks out. And then it heads and makes a new low. But that's currently right after that occurred. So we might consider this as another possible trade entry with the Neo Cloud and smart trail. We were just using Neo before. But notice what is happening as well. This is another idea. If you guys understand price action, you should understand this too. Is anytime this retests the Neo Cloud, it's more than likely forming a bear flag or a bull flag. Here's a bear flag that breaks, right? I was going to see on the bull side. I mean, in this case, this is a bull flag that breaks. Lower lows, lower highs. Bull flag breaks. So that's another thing. If you guys can understand what bull and bear flags are and how they form, could be your trade as well. This here, ES 3 minute didn't play out, but we said the NQ did. NQ, this was a very long and sought out bear flag or bull flag, but it happened. Bull flag. Lower lows, lower highs. Bull flag break here when it broke the Neo, and then retested for a nice rally after it. So a lot of potential. Still potential. Still testing. Still seeing what would happen. Let's see if gold. Yeah, gold's probably going to stop us out. But this is, in this case, this wouldn't be a setup because we still have a bearish Neo, right? But this is so choppy. At this point, normally I would just exit because it's not going anywhere. But I also never use Neo, but together with Smart Trail looks like killing. Yeah. Like I said, on this account, we're up $1,182 in a little over a week using the NeoCloud strategy. Yesterday, we were at 52,500 because before we had those three major losers in a row. We had 3 losers in a row yesterday. So we're trying to now tweak it a little bit and see what could help us with more confirmed entries. Because again, I like talking about this with what we always trade on the the signals and overlays strategy. You want multiple levels of confluence. Most strategies that set up and work well, they have multiple parameters that set up. Seeing that a NeoCloud strategy was up to $2,500 in a week just using the Neo, I was like honestly kind of shocked. I was like, this is pretty awesome. So we'll continue to be testing that against the prop firm challenge. But so far had a setback, but that's just a part of learning how it's going to trade, right? Learning how it's going to work. Here's the NQ on the 5-minute. This is why maybe the 5 minutes a play too. This was the normal strategy. You break below it, right? You break out. You take an entry off of a retracement. You target a new high or the break of the recent high. Let me get rid of the pattern detection. But again, it worked there, which was the normal strategy. Can I show some Forex examples? What do you want to look at specifically? We can look at the Euro USD. Awesome. Let's look at Euro USD. I haven't looked at. Oh, actually, we were looking at the Euro earlier. So here you go. This is the same, what we talked about. Actually, on the 5-minute, where's the smart trail right now? Okay, it broke the smart trail. But on the 3-minute today on Euro USD, we said we saw that smart trail reject, exit, wham! What a money trade there. That's just thing. We need to just have a sound effect go whammy every time we have a
boom.
Yeah, this thing is gold. Are you gonna play out for us? But that was for this thing. Yeah, there's just zero volume. We might get some later. Anyway, Euro today. Let's go to the 5-minute. Look where it rejected. This is where if you're not scalping, I mean, you have to have the order blocks up. It's just, trust me, it's going to change everything. In this case, look at before. We rejected the 4-hour order block here on a 5-minute chart, and we broke down, smart trail, bam, hit, rally lower, beautiful. Today, same thing. We rallied up, went up, touched the 4-hour order block again. Smart trail flip, smart trail break, and then we had another leg down. Smart trail, sorry, Neo break below it again. Had to move down. We go to the 1 hour. We could see those 4-hour order blocks lining up for those perfect rejects. In this case, longer term, we potentially looking now for, as long as this Neo holds, we can have a continuation. Look where it bounced here. I mean, wow, the range trading on these 4-hour order blocks on the Euro is insane. Bounce here, reject here, bounce here, reject here. Like 2 insane trade opportunities just off of identifying those 2 that rejected, right? What's our time? Time's 1:42. Okay. So we'll be on here for a little over probably 20 more minutes, and then we're going to call it a day. Let's see if gold can get our breakout, though. I mean, this thing, if we pulled up a volume indicator, probably see. Yeah, look at the difference. Look at the difference in volume right now at the bottom of the chart. This thing is was peaking here, and now it's just dead. So I will suggest it's not always great to take entries when there's no volume, especially if you're scalping. But again, like I said, because of this case, we're going to be in an entry because we had all those things line up. But, wow, Euro, USD. This guy wanted AUD, NZD. He wanted the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. Does that even get much volume? Well, it definitely likes to spike. What time frame would you like there, sir? Oh, wow. This does not look good. Okay. Wow. I don't know how you have fun trading this thing, chopping like it is. I mean, the only thing you would want to do is trade a higher time frame. This thing is just... Look at this, though. This is pretty cool. We talked about the Neo and the whatever. This is looking good here. Oh, wrong one. Look at it break up, come back down, touches with the trend catcher. Smart Trail and Neo form right here, breaks back out, retest there for your entry, target the recent high, boom, there's your trade. What would that have occurred for? Would have been, let's see, entry would have been right off that Neo retest, stop below the low, target the high, or closing of the highs, we like to say 4-to-1 trade. You would have had 51 pips, I'm assuming. I don't trade Forex, so I'm assuming the 51 there is pips, because I trade ticks on the ES and the NQ, but it's the same thing. OB plus S&O, that's your strategy. Nice. Why stock market is not moving? What do you mean? I don't understand what he's saying there. Somebody wanted to look at, certain stocks as well. Great news was yesterday, Unchanged. Nvidia has earnings coming up this month, the 21st. Crude oil, yeah, we were just going over crude oil. Crude oil we talked about for a while, actually. But do you mind doing SPY quick? Tesla. Yeah, we can check Tesla. Crude oil, we were saying in the past 80s, we want to see a big bounce. We saw a bounce so far in the 80s, low 80s. Still in the low 80s, though. We'll see here, though. Here you go, 4 hour. Here's your smart trail with the Neo cloud. Let's see if that rejects. Gotta connect here again, I guess. Gold is still trying to go. I think your data is just frozen there, my friend. I don't think, yeah, no, your data's frozen. Something's going on with your computer or something. All stocks are moving. Somebody said SPY. SPY, well, we were doing ES, so I don't know, we could look at SPY by itself, I guess. We talked about on SPY, and we'll look at the weekly again. The SPY weekly, I would highly recommend looking at high time frames, like a weekly chart, see how that week's going to be predicted. What do you see here? Fib retracement off the 618. We pull up signals and overlays. Guess what else? It was at the bottom of the Neo, bouncing off the bottom of the Neo cloud. So far, we're looking very strong regardless because of the 618 bounce. But let's see here. We pull up our order blocks. We had some order blocks sitting down here. If we would have gone any lower, that's probably where we would have bounced. But we ended up bouncing off the 618, but it lined up some of those order blocks down there. What else was it, though? This was also previous resistance here. It was a previous break of structure. Okay. A lot of things lined up for this week to bounce for SPY. The daily. What a rally. Daily, though, currently in a channel, downtrend channel. In my opinion, SPY has room to retest 435-ish. Let's see if we've extended, though, on the oscillator. We haven't. Look, oscillator's trying to turn back. You had divergence. We had some bullish divergence here. Yeah, gold's not going anywhere. Bullish divergence right here. Bing, bing. Lower low, higher low on the oscillator. Then we had a rally. Money. Nice little bounce there with the interest rates unchanged. Well, I've tried this NeoCloud Smart Trail strategy. 6E, Benji. Yeah, we could look at that again. Can you trade live now and share the analysis why you took the trade? We're in a current gold trade, but it's just sideways. But going over everything, and again, we don't recommend you just following this trade blindly, because we're just looking at the setup that was showing us. I have to turn on so many features to show you, but I need to go over So when I said Tesla and then Nvidia, let's do that first. And then if gold moves, more likely we wouldn't trade during this time because it's very low volume. But it had something to look at, so we put it in. Nvidia, you got earnings coming up late November, the 21st, right? So far, what do you see? Let's just take off. Let's look at the daily order blocks. These are daily, pink here. Yeah, look at Bitcoin too. Yeah, remember what we said about EA? We wanted it. We wanted if it had that beat to rally. I think. Let me double check. Oh, that is not the EA we were looking for. I think we talked about this having that gap up, but I don't remember. Nice little move there. Let's go back to Tesla. Sorry. Tesla obviously is going to move with the rest of the market. Tesla. Where do you see it bouncing off of? Well, so this is a breaker block. Broke back in May this year. Previous high. What do you see? I see that breaker block is telling us too, but also a lot of volume occurred here. Previous resistance, swing point, previous swing point. Previous swing points can act as swing points again, and that's why this breaker block's here. We were inside the breaker block, we broke out, and now we're continuing. If I were to actually buy Tesla though, I would wait for a proper setup. There's not really anything to be buying right now. I mean, obviously it is at a discount. 200 though, below 200, if you get a snag below 200, I think that's a pretty good steal on Tesla there. Somebody said Nvidia. I feel like NQ will self-destruct if Nvidia misses, probably. And we're back up on gold. Yeah, this thing is so choppy. It's no volume. This today earlier would have had a nice trade. This year potentially. But this is what we talked about on this trade here. First off, we were saying, premium discount zones and fair value gaps, right? Let me go over this one more time. We broke up, changed character, break a structure. Previous resistance was formed here. Look what else formed there. There's our previous resistance zone. What else formed there was this fair value gap right here. That little green box there. I go into my settings, fair value gap right here, FVG on the price action concepts. I changed my volatility threshold to 1, so I'm not getting a bunch of random FVGs that are really small, which you can see here in a sec when they pop up. Right there, boom, 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 boom. I don't want to see those. I don't really care about those, even though they did bounce. I don't really want to see them. So I changed my volatility threshold to 1, and we're gonna trade off. If we were to take trades, we would want to look at the proper ones. But here's the other thing somebody asked: 15-minute, right? Notice 15-minute here. Got structure shift. If it'll load, and then where are my FVGs? Hold on. What happened to the FVGs there? Time frame chart. There is an FVG sitting there. I don't know. Is the volatility on this one different? Yeah, it must be, because the volume was much slower in this time. Okay, so there you go. Because it's a 50-minute chart, I had to change that back to 0. So make sure you do that if you don't see it. But look at this. I can now go into the settings, time frame, 15-minute FVGs. I want to see that on a lower time frame. Now I go to 5-minute. And bam, there's my 15-minute FVG. That's where that one hit. See, it bounced off that, tapped it. Saw that, saw that, saw that. We're targeting right now, this fair value gap here on the 5-minute, but also it lines up with a 15-minute fair value gap. And then we had as well a take off these. We put on the AI signals, confirmation. And then we did, I think we were on autopilot or something. Let me check. Candle coloring, confirmation symbol. Here we go. We have a 2 signal, right? Bullish signal, change character, bounce off here. Candles are turning green and bullish. We are also inside a bull flag. And guess what else? We also, actually, 5-minute in the case, 3-minute we're looking at more. 3-minute money flow was strong, right? 5-minute though, money flow is not strong. So that's where it's like, what time frame are you on? What are you used to? Recently, you've been trading a 3-minute a lot. So in this current situation, We'll see if it flips. This is the other thing though too. Look at how much bearish money flow there was. It tried to break over. Here. Finally, it might be breaking over. And maybe we'll be getting paid because of it. So we'll see here. See how it plays out. Everything's lining up except for the money flow. And that's where you can then be like, okay, that money flow does need to line up. We'll see if it does. So far, not too bad. Nice little chicken dinner right there.
Not too shabby.
Nice little chicken dinner.
Close it out. Get your chicken biscuit sandwich.
There you go. A little scalpy. But again, also forgot to mention, equilibrium, right? We were in a discount. We came out of discount. We're at the equilibrium. We can target up a little bit more. But Tesla, he said, what do you think about the current status of Tesla? How do you think it'll keep going? I mean, you want to know how you can tell where Tesla might be going, especially after an earnings, right? They did have pretty not so great earnings. They gapped down. If you want to know about Tesla and where it's going, all you have to do is click ES. Look at ES. Understand where the overall market is moving. Tesla's one of the highest volume trading stocks within SP 500. The highest volume. It trades higher than SPY. But in the SP 500, it's pretty much the leader. And you got Apple. But again, just analyze ES and SPY, and that'll tell you where Tesla's going. Let me show you. Here's SPY, right? Watch Tesla. Exact same. Lower high happened back in October. SPY. Lower high happened back in October. So it's obviously the volatility is a little different on these two, but it's going to trade accordingly. I would analyze SPY first and then compare it to Tesla. Which successful strategy would you recommend? I mean, it comes down to you and what works for you. We talk about this all the time. Not every strategy works for everybody. I could have a really profitable strategy, but it might not work for you. Just because it's a different style or something.
Why not?
Oh, I wonder why. I mean, it just depends on your for one, patience. Patience is big. It's different in everybody. Some people, I'm a very impatient person. I can't trade Mickey's strategy. I couldn't do it. I would be sitting there really antsy. I mean, the only thing I can do that requires patience is like long-term investing, because it's simple. You just, when you feel a stock is valued properly, you buy it. And you feel like it has a potential of being a really good company. Or you see it undervalued, you want to purchase, right? And you hold it.
I had that same thought process with Bitcoin 2 years ago.
Right. Bitcoin's a little different. You got to go in with a crazier mindset to trade Bitcoin. SPC 500 is going to be the same as ES, SPY, all that. Should be. Yeah, SPX. It's all the same. Watch this. Look, SPX 500. Look, bam. ES. Boom. Same chart. All the same. Gold. Static. Near US. I will only look at this if it has good volume. If it doesn't, then we're not going to look at it. Let's see the 5 minute. Yeah,
I never heard of that one.
Sorry, not really going to look at this, but here you go. 4-hour chart. Yeah, see, it's not. This is not even worth looking at. No volume. Up. I mean, this is just gonna. Any guy with $1 million can destroy this in 2 seconds. So I wouldn't really worry about it. All major currencies break money threshold on 4-hour. Probably just start big move for the next weeks. Yeah, we already looked at ES about 50 times. We said 1 week was easy predicted bounce based on the Fibonacci, and also based on just coming out of this resistance. If you look at one more time, a breaker block here. Boom. Breaker block on the daily breaker block bouncing right off. We got our breaker blocks on price action concepts indicator, and then our perfect golden bounce off the 618. And also, my goodness, I mean, look at this daily reject here. This is just unreal. Beautiful engulfing candle on the weekly. Retrace and then dive. Right? Dive. But overall, nice moves we got going on. YM, ES, all of these just massive uptrends today. CL. A lot to play with. Also, those of you asking about the recent smart trail and everything, if this occurs, where's my tool? If this occurs where it bounces off smart trail under and it's not inside the Neo, then I wouldn't take it. Only when it's inside the Neo. That's where I like it so far. We'll continue to back test. Figure it out.
Optimize. How's your gold doing?
I'll look at it.
Yeah.
Or just, again, there's no volume. Just back and forth. Creepy crawly. Yes. Rates unchanged, my friends. Rates unchanged. Honestly, let's just take a quick intermission. Hop over to what we're seeing here. We still got the Dow Jones up 485 points. SP 500 up 72 points. NASDAQ Composite up 214 points. Yes, sir. And then our news we talked about already early stream. Interest rate Fed decision yesterday was reported at 2 Eastern. Unchanged. And so far we are bullish because of it. Crude oil inventories were less than expected, which, you know, is price should have probably gone up, but it didn't. Ended up rejecting and heading lower, but it kind of bounced a bit. ISM beat, and then its PMI for the month didn't beat. The prices did though. I'm trying to think of anything else. Nope. Sorry. Let me take off my Slack notifications. I'm sorry, guys. If you are getting notified too much, probably a little loud. But overall, very nice news reports to send us into a massive move today. Today we had jobless claims. I mean, it does and doesn't do much to the market, to be honest. Non-farm productivity beat, and then vehicle sales were up, which I don't like because now my vehicle is worth a lot less than I wish it was. That needs to go back down. People need to stop buying vehicles. All right. Natural gas storage. I forgot that was reported today. 79B. So it was one less than predicted. And we had more in the bank than we did last month. And guess what happens? Price goes up. Or sorry. Price goes down. Sorry, no, it doesn't. Nat gas is different. It doesn't go opposite. I'm dumb. Sorry.
Goodbye. Good night.
See, that's when you're like, eh.
I always say zoom out.
Oh, are you streaming tomorrow? It's NFP day and big moves possible. Bad weather here in Copenhagen, so I wanted to watch you. I just need to act as if what you might say. Yeah, we got PMI early tomorrow. Tomorrow's pretty heavy news.
We have all the past recorded sessions.
Yeah, we do. We might stream tomorrow. That just depends. Depends how we're feeling. It depends if I lose again. I'm just kidding. Hey!
If we have 2,000 more likes, then we'll stream. How's that?
Actually, did we hit 100 likes? We better have hit 100. If we hit 100 likes, then we'll stream tomorrow.
But that's easy, though.
No, it's not. We need 4 of them. Let's see.
Anyway.
There we go. Gold. Trying again. We're at 96 likes. We need 4. There, 97. Man, Benji, I wish gold was pumping. I really do. This, if you consider this a pump, then I don't know. I don't know. Love you.
That's a good lunch. Lunch money.
Back down to 40. Back down to In this case,
But
normally
we're at the
now
last power hour.
I would just set my stop probably like right up here, but you know, whatever. I'm not even gonna move it. 102 likes, 104 likes, bam. All right. I forgot there's a bit of a delay, so I'm sitting here waiting. I was like, we still haven't gotten any. Finally, when the delay hit. All right, we'll stream tomorrow. Yeah, the recordings are always available. They'll be posted. You just go to the live section of the Discord. Tomorrow, though, I want to try this. I want to try this out again. Neo Cloud with a smart trail inside of it. Let's see. CL, though. Man, I love trading CL. Unless when it messes me up. But it is fun. It has good price action. Yes. All on the Lux Algo setup. Neo Trail. Neo Trail. Nice. I like it. The Neo Trail strategy. It will be named that if it works well. All right, let's just look at bond futures maybe a little bit here. Let's look at silver. Silver down.
I thought you were going to say silver bells.
Silver bells. It is getting to be Christmas, right? Here's some T-notes. Rejecting. Nice little breakout on that guy. Copper futures. This thing's going today, copper. We got British pound futures. You know, trying to retest the high of the range. It just broke equilibrium. Here's some wheat futures. It's kind of crazy that wheat and soybean oil trade at this volume. Like, look at the volume on this. Better than gold right now. People trading soybean oil. Like, goodness. I'm gonna start trading soybean more often. ZL. Like, that's pretty awesome. Soybean oil. Soybean futures. Does this have just now? See, this one doesn't have. The oil does. Can you circle on CL where the ST and Neo trades would have been good? Yeah, sure. Let's go CL. Gold is in $40 profit. Let's go 3. You're talking earlier about or yesterday about how, man, we just need to trade like commodities like that based on the weather and natural occurrences and stuff. Be too easy, right? Hold on, I went back to, let's just turn off the signals for now. Pull up Smart Trail and the Neo. Let's get our candle coloring off as well. Okay, here you go. Crude oil today. It's the 3-minute, right? I'm gonna leave this down here like that. I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it. Oh well. All right, crude oil trades today. That would have occurred. Where's my drawing tool? Here wouldn't take. Here wouldn't take. Why? NeoCloud is bearish. Retest NeoCloud with the smart trail inside of it. Right? You're taking your trade on the breakout retest right here. Right? Long would have occurred there. Stop below the low for now. Target the high. That would have been $380 on that trade if you trade one mini. Had a potential of hitting $800. Probably a little over 800. That would have been the trade for that. This current situation, it tapping it again. It is going up from there, but remember when it happens multiple times, it's not as good. Trend's already hit before. First time it hit here was good because it was a flip and then hit. Didn't flip, didn't hit, or it hit but flip, didn't happen. So it's always looking for that first flip hit. So here you go. Day before, or this was pre-market, Thursday pre-market. We had a pre-market trade. Flip, comes up, tests it here, rejects, we break out. You go on the retest of the Neo, stop above the high. You target the low. That'd be 1 to 1 or 1.4 to 7.1. That's $280. Hit a potential of $800. So it's seeming as if $800 might be the move. That was on CL today. We go back. Let's go back to yesterday. So we had a trade yesterday. Yesterday, sadly, fantastic sell-off, but never occurred. If we go to the 5-minute, I think it did actually happen on the 5-minute yesterday. Wednesday. Here you go. Oh, it didn't either. So just really strong trend yesterday on CL. So CL wouldn't have had a trade yesterday. But we go to gold here and see if we're... Oh, are we in profit again? We're up $60. Let's go. Anyway, gold today. Gold today. Break, right? Flip. Test this, the smart trail inside the Neo Cloud. Broke out. You would take your trade right here. I do like this because your stop loss isn't as drastic, right? You actually have considerable stop losses. $300. Target the low. Had potential, I think, of like 500. Let's see here. Pre-market. Other thing you can do too, guys, if you can't see that, you can go in here, right? We can go to style. We can go down to smart trail area, and we can just, on the blue one, we can make it like pink, you know, crank it up. There you go, pink, boom. We can actually see what the smart trail is. But for now, I'm gonna put that back to blue so we see it. Or you can just crank up the color. That works too. So let's see. This is 6 a.m. I wouldn't be trading at 6 a.m. Let's go to yesterday. This was yesterday, right? Yes. Yesterday. Notice here. Watch. Came in, or sorry, never mind. I wouldn't have traded that. Here you go. Boom. So I'm gonna trade. This is early. This is 4 a.m. But again, setup, turning point. Sorry, change. Retest Neo. Broke out. Retest the high. That's what you target. We're taking it. Here, kind of sketch. Turning. You see how it turned here? It switched here, but it never came back to it until later. That's where it's like you kind of want to. If you're questioning it, I wouldn't normally take it. Plus, you're driving right into news. Okay, right? You're right into news there, because you had FOMC at 1,400 hours. But there you go. Hey, gold trying to go now. Let's see. Breakout for us, gold. We love you. All right, NG. Look, even nat gas. Look at nat gas. Watch this. Somebody tell me. Turning, right? Turn from red to blue. Bounced. Would I take this trade? Yes or no? When it breaks out here and retest, do I take this trade? Yes or no? Thank you. Nice. All right, you're getting it. I'm glad we're learning. Again, though, this isn't some perfectly back-tested strategy. This is a strategy we're back-testing together on stream. I'm trying to be transparent about this strategy and how I go about, looking and developing strategies, right? And so far, we're just tweaking this one. This is something I haven't seen yet, though, here. Again, always note, if you question it, don't take it. Always. Question it, don't take it. This case is quite interesting because it does play out. If the trend is strong, this could be an indication. It was there. It wasn't inside of it, though. It was there. Broke down and it did retest the low. So that's something to keep in mind. That happened on nat gas. But every asset trades differently. Let's go back to nat gas. Here you go. This is it. We traded this one, actually. We took a trade on this. This is one of our trades. It broke out, bounced off that trail. Wow, that smart trail is incredible sometimes. We actually took an entry here and we took off profit up here. But I wish it would show past trades when you go back a few days. But that one would have hit perfect. Notice that it was super late in the day, so not all the time I would take it. But sometimes if you are having like a really good week, it's always good to every once in a while test something new, see if it works. This played out pretty well because it did have quite a bit of a downtrend, quite a bit of a reset, and the oscillator reset down here was below the 50. Let's see, nat gas. Is this during market hours? This was during market hours. This is interesting. On this one. This is something that I wouldn't really recommend trading either. Why? Because look, it was previously in a trend. It barely flipped blue, and then it flipped back into a trend. It's like, I wouldn't really take that. Not at all. And that gold trade came back down. We're still in profit, but barely. Here we go. Any setups? So this is starting to look pretty interesting, actually, on some of these. On nat gas, specifically. This one you could have taken once it broke out. But it did break above the high there. But notice it does overlap. It does overlap here. Barely. So, you know, potential. As long as it overlaps, right? That means the trend's staying strong, I'm assuming, that smart trail. And then here you go. This is gold. Money. Bounce, break, entry. Would have broke the high. And then see you later. A big trade. Let's go back to gold real quick. Let's see. Ooh, actually. It didn't flip recently, though. Gold, again, this volume's so dead. Now, at this point, guys, I would, you know, we might as well just set our stop right here. There's no real point. It's like, it's just so dead because it's like end of day. Maybe this power hour will get something. But like, this is where normally you should probably just set it like, honestly, here. But we'll just put it here for now. Let's look at, I don't know, 61. Yeah, we talked about this. But let's go back a day or two. Oh, was this during hours? It's early market open. Early pre-market. Here you go. Bam. Wow, this thing was aggressive. If it looks proper, right? Entry here. Target the low. And then, honestly, if you have two... Eventually, by the way, when we get to trade more than one lot, which you could, right? We could switch to micros. We could do that. My opinion, we take off half at the low, and then we hold the rest. We could totally do that, actually. Maybe we do that on micros. Bounce, touches, bounce, breakout, entry, rally. This is why this is a good, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered, but here you go, bounce, breakout. This one would have triggered your entry here. And then target. So this is another thing that we could indicate a reset as well if you want, is maybe if this the smart trail flips during a bullish Neo, but then it flips back once it breaks, and then you play a setup. We could indicate that maybe as like one of these things. It is still the first test, though. Every day we get Mickey joining us for NG, is what he said. Closer. Mickey joining us.
NG.
Because you're waiting for the micros. We're
That's
very
right.
Close. Very close.
4 more days.
Yeah, gold here is just, we'll probably get this. There's no volume, guys. Sorry. I wish there was. Because we probably would have had the right setup. But there's volume there, and it had the setup, and then it just died. It's like, see ya.
The day is done.
I think we're actually at that 2-hour mark, right? Yeah, 2:16. That's what I wanted to do. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We're still in that gold trade. If you're in the chat, I'll keep you updated. But for those of you that aren't in the chat, again, go to luxalgo.com, guys. There's a lot of fun free stuff on here as well. We have a library, just flipping awesome, with all of our free indicators. You can, hit this drop down here, and you can check out the categories. If you want an indicator on patterns, or has dash divergences, drawing tools, Fibonacci forecasting, all that stuff here. We're constantly releasing ones. You can see we released one yesterday, November 1st. So we're constantly releasing ones for you guys to look at, utilize with the premium indicators, utilize by themselves. Note, though, for those of you that are new, note that the free indicators we release, and then we only update if there's like crazy bugs. But after it's released, we don't do much updating on them. They're just how they are. Unless it's like a super popular indicator, we will update some features on it. But a lot of these we have them run through its course. We make sure they work, and then we post them for you guys. But all the updating happens on the premium indicators. We're constantly updating those premium indicators to make sure you're getting the best features, concepts that that the feedback we get from you guys, we add in there. So, but we're constantly updating them, like the multi-time frame dashboard for market structure we just added, as well as fixing some bugs, making it a lot easier to trade. We added, before we never had multi-time frame order blocks, and then we added those. And guys like Mickey started making millions of dollars, doing that, right, Mickey? But no, for real, you guys, is something you wanted, so that's what we did, and we were constantly doing that for you. So there's features that you want as well. Leave feedback in the Discord. We really appreciate it. We really want to hear about potential ways that you would, or potential features you might want in the premium indicators, as well as stay tuned this month, guys. Big announcement, big release. You're about to have access to
don't say.
Back testing. Back testing is coming at you. So get ready for back testing and for that release. That's I'm not going to say much more than that. You will be able to back test everything you want on the premium indicators. But as well as when you're on that website, we went over it many times. Go to the guides section under resources. And you can see everything that the indicator provides, each feature that it provides, that each indicator provides. Sorry, how to understand what the oscillator matrix does. We have videos on them, but also the Discord link down bottom left hand corner. Click that. Make sure you join up on the Discord. I will say too, the links are in the description. Yeah, chicken oscillator is coming. Hot chicken oscillator. Or no. The chicken dinner oscillator was going to be called. But again, all the links are in the description. You do get 30 days risk free right now. Just click that big green button on the home page. 30 days risk free. You can go through, check it out. But yeah, click the button. Join us. Me and Mickey are in the members area of the Discord. When you do sign up, here you go. 11 minutes ago, someone from Slovenia signed up. Pretty cool. Anyway. When you do sign up, especially for the 30 days risk free, you get access to the members area where me and Mickey are constantly trading. I'm always in the futures chat. Mickey's throughout the whole Discord. He's there to help you guys with any questions you have, kind of guide you in the right path if you do have questions. You can contact our support online. We have the FAQ on the Discord, but if you want to get in contact with our support, of course, do it on the website. There's a little chat in the bottom right hand corner. Talk with them. Yes, Alex. We have some videos right now in development coming out. Okay. That blonde guy's name is Sean, and he is the CEO. We're gonna have him and the developer, the head developer, on stream here soon too, to ask for you guys to ask questions. Should be kind of fun. So we will do a big announcement for that for the when we have them on stream, because we want you guys to prepare questions or anything that you have that you want to ask them. All right, so we'll make sure you know when that's gonna happen. But again, one more time, tomorrow, non-farm payroll, NFP. I'm now gonna say NFP. I feel dumb that I didn't know it was NFP, to be honest, but it's okay. We don't know everything, right? I'm just a normal trader like you guys, but I've just been doing it probably longer than some of you, but not longer than Mickey.
I'm an old man.
Mickey's up there in his trading years. I'm almost at double digits on my trading years. We're getting there. But again, non-farm payroll tomorrow, unemployment rate coming out. It's already predicted 3.3 or 3.8. Hopefully it's the same. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow because you got us to 100 likes. So save your questions for tomorrow. Mickey, hope you have a good rest of your day. Hey, tonight, Titans versus Steelers. Let's go Titans. Tighten up. Let's go, Will Levis. Man, put on a show last week. 4 touchdowns, 4 touchdown passes in one game. He's a third third person to ever do that in his very first game starting, which is pretty awesome. So, time to smoke some Steelers. If Gabe, if you're watching, we're gonna smoke you, man. Anyway, I don't think Gabe's watching, but
Go Raiders. Anyway,
so go Raiders. Oh, Benji, I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. What a day! And I can't tell you, I haven't had that much fun at a Titans game in a while. We've been season ticket holders for like 15 years. But awesome, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Have a good rest of your evening, and yeah, peace.
later.